send it to you again. Hi, Jim. Hold on one second. Hi, Rita. Hi, Sandy. How you all doing today? For some reason, I'm having a hard time. I've got Jim coming on with me, but for some reason, the link's not working. So I'm going to send this on and figure this out. Hi, Jimmy. How are you tonight?
The clock since 55. So let the good time roll one more time tonight.
I sent you the link, Jim, but I don't know what's going on. Hold on, I don't know what's going on.
Still gonna hear me say you're never too old to rock and roll. I saw them dancing on my TV, American Bandstand. There was a whole lot of shaking going on all across the land. They said the fad would never last. After a long, long time ago, you're never too old, to rock and roll. Well, believe me that rock and roll, it still thrills my soul. You're never too old, to rock and roll.
James, check your messenger. It should be on there by now, I'm hoping, this time. I know I sent it to you on the computer. Let me double check again.
Well, last night, Mom and Dad went down to the rock and roll show. It was a revival, so her mama took the Bible and said, let's go. She kept dancing all the way home, tore all my dad's clothes, so you're never too old, to rock and roll.
I don't want to add you.
Well, believe that rock and roll, oh, it still thrills my soul. You're never too old, to rock and roll. Yeah, when my hair starts turning gray,
why did you? You're not showing up here. That is weird.
To rock and roll. I said you're never too old, to rock and roll. I said you're never too old.
Okay, well, that's weird. All right, so I am having a problem because I originally invited Jim on here with me because he was asked, and for some reason, I sent him the link on Windows Messenger, on Facebook Messenger, and he's not here. So let's give him a minute, and I'm going to try this one more time. If I have to replay that song, I will. I don't know what's going on. It says it couldn't send. That's strange. Gonna try a different way, Jim. Okay, well, I'm having a problem getting Jim's link sent to him. I'm not sure. So I'm going to replay this song one more time, and then I'll be right back. A happy birthday to Elvis. He is 90 years old today. All right. I'm not going to figure this out. So give me one more moment. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. This is horrible. But for some reason, this technology is not working for me at the moment. Give me one more moment, please.
Well, we've been rocking around the clock since 55. So let the good time roll one more time tonight. And when my hair starts turning gray, you're still gonna hear me say, you're never too old to rock and roll. I saw her dancing on my TV, American Bandstand. There was a whole lot of shaking going on all across the land. And said the fad would never last. After a long, long time ago, you're never too old to rock and roll. Well, believe me, that rock and roll, it still thrills my soul. You're never too old. You're never too old to rock and roll. Well, last night, Mom and Dad went down to the rock and roll show. It was a revival, so her mama took the Bible and said, let's go. She kept dancing all the way home, tore all my dad's clothes, so you're never too old to rock and roll. Well, believe that rock and roll, oh, it still thrills my soul. You're never too old. You're never too.
I did add it on the ETMIA 18357 Messenger. Jim, check there. See if he can join us there. If not, I don't know what to tell you. This was Jim's idea. He wanted to celebrate Elvis's birthday. James McFarlin is Elvis's distant cousin and has been in touch with him over the years and has met him after 1977 in real life. You can see his real life encounters video, part 2 here on, I believe, in the live stream section or the video section of this page on YouTube. I would have done this on Facebook, but I can't get my logins to work right now for StreamYard through Facebook. So, all right. So this is a birthday celebration. So there really isn't much of a thing I'm going to go over, but I am just going to do a little bit of sharing. Okay. So, I had shared in a reel on this channel before, things that, his family and his friends had given us for hints. So what I decided to do was, I was supposed to have James on here with me, but for some reason, it's not working. The links are not working on Facebook. I have no idea why. And I can't send it to him through my phone because I don't have StreamYard on my phone. So, yeah. Anyway, so hopefully we can get that going. If not, well, I guess I'll be doing this solo today, and I'm going to be apologizing to James McFarlin right now because I have no idea why this is not working. All right, so the first one I'm going to share is Priscilla and Elvis's.
He's there, trust me.
That was his 87th birthday when Priscilla did that. And she told everybody he was there in the mansion. I was just like, I'm not kidding. All right. This is Priscilla the same year at his candlelight ceremony.
Celebrate his birthday. He always loves celebrating other people's birthday. So this is our chance to give him a big hug and celebrate him and say, happy birthday, Elvis. Happy birthday, Elvis! Yeah, he's probably closes his eyes. Anyway, I want to thank all of you again. This has been an amazing journey.
All right. So she just told everybody, happy birthday, Elvis. Oh, there he is. I'm going to add you on, Jim. Hi, Jim. How are you tonight?
I'm doing all right. How is everybody?
Good. All right. So happy birthday to Elvis. We just had 2 examples here, but they thought Priscilla was out of her mind when she said, happy birthday, Elvis, at his candlelit vigil. When he was 19, was it 2000? And I believe this was 22, I believe, before Lisa, the vigil before Lisa passed away in 2023. All right, so I'm going to share today's birthday celebration. Now, the family was not there, all right, but I just clipped it to like when they sang happy birthday. And then we can address comments if you guys want. All right, so here we go. We have no volume. Oh, great. Yeah.
All right. Happy birthday, Elvis.
There it is. That was a beautiful cake. Look how cold it was.
Incredible cake from the folks at Cakes by Mom and Me, and we're going to move this cake here across the street shortly, and you can join us in the Elvis Presley's Memphis Complex for a birthday cake and coffee, and also the brand new exhibit which opens today, Elvis 90 for 90. Y'all excited about that? Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody watching at home at Graceland.com, listening on Elvis Radio. If you're thinking to yourself, you know, I'm going to get there one day, you will get here one day. There's people all in this audience who couldn't wait to get here, who finally made it to Graceland. And we can't wait to see you soon in Memphis, Tennessee. Thank you, and happy birthday, Elvis.
Happy birthday, Elvis. Now, I wanted to clip it with them singing happy birthday, but for some reason, the sound didn't work. But that was one nice birthday celebration. If you haven't got to see the whole thing, it is on YouTube under Graceland. You can hit birthday live stream, birthday proclamation actually, and watch the whole thing from the beginning. It was only like maybe 15 minutes long. The rest was all like ads, like, you know, to build up suspense, let's just say. All right, so all right, I'm going to kind of appear in here wishing Elvis Jesse E a happy birthday. Yesterday when I went on live stream on Facebook, I had sent all of the comments that wished Jesse E a happy birthday to the what they call the birthday stream. Excuse me, just letters to Jesse thing for the group, on behalf of the group. So everybody that put their happy birthday comments basically got on the message board for that. I did that last night. If I missed a couple, I'm very sorry, but hey, we had plenty of opportunity over, I think it was like since December 1st to January 8th to write letters to Jesse. I'm sure he's going to enjoy every single one of them, right, Jim?
Yep, that really shocked me that she opened it for that long, because normally she don't open that long.
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like I told you today, the way Cuz likes to read, he'll have plenty to read material with me. The many messages I've seen on her site.
Yeah, and then I also sent her a couple pictures.
Yeah.
Excuse me. On X, a couple people had sent some pretty nice birthday wish pictures that had the clip art on there and stuff. I figured
Yeah.
he'd enjoy that, or she would enjoy that. And another beautiful photo someone shared of Elvis with he kind of like looking up into the lights or something in stage, and it looked like he was pensive. That was a very
Yeah.
beautiful photo. So those of you
Did
that are around
you
seen that, huh?
did you hear what the one guy at the celebration said? He said he said Elvis is 90 years old today. He didn't say Elvis would be 90 years old. He said Elvis is 90 years old today.
Yeah. And he also says he lives in our hearts, and
Yeah.
he's alive through his music. So they
Oh,
tried everything to like not say he was alive, but
I'll tell
yeah,
you what. Like I told you before, Joy, that man right there was the greatest human being to ever walk this earth, hands down. And if this world's standing 10,000 years from now, they'll still be playing his music and talking about it. They
right.
ain't forgot him. They're not going to forget him. And you know what I told you about the message I got from him the other day at Christmas, what he said to me. And he did mention all you fans, how much that he cared for y'all, and he appreciates you still following his music after all these years. So,
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for that special message from Jesse
yeah.
Elvis, everybody. He just said thank you all for
You
listening to
know,
the music.
you know, I wish I could share that with people, but I won't do that to him because he wouldn't
Right,
like
yeah,
that, me sharing that message with everybody.
right. But you
And
just
let's not
relayed
for,
whatever you needed to relay.
and
Huh?
let's not forget about his brother Jesse. You know, they got the same birthday, and Jesse'd be 90 if he was living.
Right,
God bless that kid.
right.
Shame that they couldn't both had worked together and been on stage together. That would have been an awesome show, two of them.
Yeah, yeah. I'm wondering though. I'm just wondering if when he used Orion as his double or whatever, Jimmy
Yeah,
Ellis, if maybe he felt there was a connection there in their souls. Who knows? Maybe he was reincarnated into Jimmy Ellis. Who knows? We don't know.
yeah.
But
You don't
anyway,
know.
um, I'm gonna say that today I had mentioned this on the group, but on the Elvis page, no one knows about this. But I had mentioned that tonight, that today would have been his tri-numerate birthday. So what I
Yeah,
meant by that was using
yeah,
numerology.
yeah. I heard what you said
One
about
plus
it.
eight equals nine. Today
Yeah,
is all right. His 90th birthday. So 9 plus 0 is 9. And this year, those numbers 2, 2, and 5 equal 9. So
yeah.
he has a tri-numerate birthday. I thought I'd tell you guys that. It was
Yeah.
kind of interesting.
I'm just glad that family was with him today because that poor man, he has grieved his ass off over Lisa Marie. I feel so sorry for him. Sometimes I break down and cry because I feel so sorry for him. But let me
Right,
tell you, she was his world.
right. And they said that they were sorry Riley couldn't make it. Now I'm going to say that Riley and I'm going to go out on a limb, probably was with her family and her grandfather today.
Oh, I imagine.
It's a really tough week for them. I mean, if we think about this,
I mean,
he
if
was
you
born
think,
his birthday, and then 3 days later, I think Lisa Marie passes on.
yeah,
Was it
but
3 days
listen,
or 2 days?
I mean, it's like this, Joey. You know how crushed he was over Lisa and how tough he's had it. I mean, I'm glad that the grandkids spent time with him today. I mean, he wasn't alone, so I mean,
Yeah,
I'll almost bet you Lisa was on his mind. She's on his mind all the time. The man will
yeah,
never get over Lisa. He'll never get over the loss of Lisa.
yeah. I don't
Like
think any
like
parent
and
can
like
get
and
over
like
the loss of their kid.
nope, he'll never get off over the loss of Ben. That crushed him too. But let me tell you, you know what the man's been saying. He's been telling family and friends that he don't want to be here no more. He wishes God would come on and take him home. I mean, I can understand that. Look at his age and all the hardship and the bullshit that that man has had to endure throughout his life. I am really surprised that he's even still here. And if he hadn't done what he did in '77, I'm just going to tell everybody, he wouldn't have been here 6 months down the road. He would have died, and he had brains enough to realize that. So he got away, and yeah, like I told you, he had a colostomy done, and he's been living with that colostomy all these years, and he's doing fine. All his
Right.
stomach issues are over and all that. He don't have no problem with his stomach no more, none of that.
Right. Yeah, I had covered that, and one of the reasons why he would stage his death was because he had that spastic or that
Yeah.
colon. He needed
He had
surgery.
he had a deformed colon. That was
Yeah,
his
a
problem.
deformed
He
colon.
all
I guess they
his
found out.
his entire life he had problems with that. Even when he was young, he had constipation problems. Not as bad as he did up in the years when he was 42, but he had problems from the beginning. Elvis had problems with his stomach his entire life. But
Right.
yeah,
So he did have, and he did admit to Linda that he did have surgery on the colon and had it corrected. And now
yeah.
I think with
Well,
advances, he doesn't even need the bag anymore because
that's
back
right.
then you had to have a
It,
bag in the 70s and
well, I
80s.
don't know. I don't know about now, but I do know he had a bag when that picture with him and Ben on the motor was taken. You look close to that picture and zoom in, you can see that skin-colored bandage on his left side behind Ben. That's why Ben's sitting on that side to keep that out of sight.
Right. Well, we're not going to enhance that photo and zoom it in. We're going to leave it just as it is.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I think that to keep it private, you know. I
yeah.
mean, I think he showed enough of that photograph about himself. There is no denying that photo is not Elvis Presley. Um, Arm tones, leg
Oh,
tones, stars,
I'm going.
smile,
I'm going.
eyes. I
I,
mean,
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and tell you something, Joey. I've already been told that the enhanced photo that you did, he loved it. He liked it.
mm,
He thought it looked good compared to the original.
right. Well, I used the enhanced one on the background here, on the thumbnail because it comes in
Yeah.
clearer. That's one of my favorite enhanced ones. The only thing I don't like about the enhancement program is that the teeth are never right.
Yeah.
But I mean, the eyes are beautiful. The skin was a little red because when I did the correction on the photo, the original photo was kind of too light. So when it came out, it would come out like really light color and kind of, it was
Yeah.
grainy. And I don't know if it was because it was taken, scanned in this printer, and then it was, copied. And so
Well,
it wasn't the original, and it was
I
kind
will.
of
I will
affected the
tell you this.
pixels.
I will tell you this. I've seen the original photo that he sent Linda, and in that photo, his skin is red, and he explained to Linda that he'd been swimming that day out in the
Yeah,
sun.
yeah, and it's pretty light colored some areas.
Yeah.
So when I kind of changed the hues to bring out the blue eyes, and it got a little
Yeah.
red, so that's why it's so red in the corner. But that was done with an enhancement photo. I think it was Fix My Pics. The
Oh,
only thing I didn't like was the way the teeth came out. Other than that, everything else came out great. You
Oh,
know.
OSK commented. He said, "Great to see you here, Jesse. Birthday, and see Jim here."
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the comments here in a minute. Actually, I'll start highlighting them.
And,
So hi
and then,
Jim, how are you? This is Jim's. This is James. This is Jim. That's on the video with me today. And of course, there's Rita. I'm glad you're back on, Rita. I'm hoping you're feeling better. I noticed you were saying you weren't feeling good. I hope you're getting better. And Sandy, hi Sandy. And she's saying hello. Rita did. And Jimmy
yeah.
says hi. Hi. Hi.
I seen where SK was talking about him having that colostomy done. He told Wanda June Hill he had that done. They removed his
Yeah.
colon.
Yeah. He did admit to Linda, but he also told Wanda June Hill. And I think she would be better. Say better. Good. I think
Well,
Wanda June Hill. The hint that he gave Wanda June Hill for her to recognize him was he had the bag,
yeah.
and that convinced her right there because
Well,
nobody knew that he needed a
when
bag.
when when Wanda broke her hip and had that surgery and she was home recovering, she was skeptical about Linda till she asked Wanda for her phone number, and she said, "I'll put him through to you." And Elvis called her after all them years. Wanda was blown away. She couldn't believe it.
Yeah. I think that was like I think it was mentioned in her on her website like 2014 around there. I could
Yeah.
be wrong, but yeah, I haven't really covered that too much, but I did read her book, Wanda June Hill's book, We Remember Elvis. That is a really awesome book because it shows a human side to Elvis that nobody ever really gets to see,
Nope.
you know. And he never lies to her. Never, you know. And she said it. He never lies to me. So what
Well,
he said to her on the phone was truth, you know.
I'm going to say something here. And SK, how you doing, bud? And whoever this Marty Harvey is that brought up Bob Joyce, don't even come in here with that Bob Joyce crap. Bob Joyce is not Elvis. And I would give you my opinion of Bob Joyce, but Joey wouldn't like it because he's not a man of God. He's a damn con man. He's not
Yeah, I
Elvis
know. You
Presley.
already
He's not
said
open
it.
to be Elvis Presley. He would, his voice and his everything wouldn't make a pimple on Elvis's rear end. I mean, I'm not saying he's not a good singer because the man's got a great voice, but he's not Elvis Presley. And anybody that believes that, they're brainwashed.
Right. So Nan, hi Nan.
Hello, Nan.
And Julianne says hi James and hi Joy and hi everyone. All right.
Hello.
And Diana says hello. And of course you said add me on.
Yeah.
I finally got him on. It took a minute. I had to send it through the private chat. For some
Yeah, you had
reason
to
it
send
wasn't
it.
working on the
You had to
Facebook
send,
chat.
yeah,
Don't know why.
I couldn't get on here without going to the StreamYard deal on that EGMIA because YouTube wouldn't let me do nothing.
Wow. All right, so Sandy says,
Because
happy 90th birthday, dearest Elvis Jesse.
I've been telling everybody tonight. Some of them asked me about it, and I said it's going to be on YouTube, but you need to go through YouTube if you want to comment because the last time I was on Facebook watching a video, I couldn't comment. I had to go to YouTube to leave any comments.
Yeah. So, as soon as I can get my login straightened out, I do have my password for my new profile, but for some reason it's not identifying StreamYard. I might have to shut my computer off, turn it back on, reset, you know.
Yeah.
I might have to open a new StreamYard. Who knows? I don't know.
And
Anyway, it works on YouTube, so
And I told everybody earlier at 9:30 when you told me you was having a problem. I told them I was always having problems at home. It's gonna be a few minutes.
yeah. Let's just say the wind is so strong here in New Hampshire. It's like so strong, and we have some older windows in the living room, and it's a big window, and it has like a I don't want to call it a bay window. It has like a counter thing, and the two windows on the side. Well, one of them like blew open and almost fell out of the frame during the wind gust. So we were trying to get it, tape it up, and close it good and all that. So yeah, I was delayed a half hour. So I'm sorry about that,
Yeah,
guys. Supposed to be
and
on at 9:30, but didn't make it.
and SK, I wholeheartedly agree with you about Bob Joyce and all that stuff.
Yeah. Francis says hello. Hi,
Hello.
Francis. And happy birthday to Elvis. Yeah. Love the music. Oh, okay, at the beginning. Right. You're never too old to rock and roll. Now, that voice sounds a lot like Elvis to me, but it could be Jimmy Ellis. I don't know. But I like it, so that's why I played it. I figured it was kind of upbeat and kind of, I don't know. You're never too old, get it, to rock and roll?
Regardless who it is, it sounded great.
I know, right?
Yeah,
It's one of those Orion songs that was on the New Beginnings album. So,
yeah.
hello all the group members. Yes. Hello to all the group members. Hi Diana.
Hello, Dan. Hey, Dan.
Oh, yeah, Jim sent you the link. Cool. Awesome.
I've sent a lot of people links.
Happy 90th birthday, Jesse Elvis from Jimmy. Yeah. I don't know why I can't join, but I'm here. I know. Who do you think is singing? I don't know. You tell me. Who do you think is singing? I think, like I said, it sounds a lot like Elvis to me.
That's what I say too. Kind of like Elvis to me.
Yeah, but
That's
you
just
never
like
know.
that's just like the Spelling on the Stone album. That's
Uh,
him, 100%. Just like the song Spelling on the Stone, and then the other song on there, Back Home. That's Elvis all the way.
Yeah, and I mean, I was listening to Orion the other day when I was doing my dishes, and I have a bunch of songs that I know are Elvis voice for some reason. So what I did was I mixed it up with my playlist, and I put a little bit of Orion, a little bit of John Burroughs, a little bit of Elvis, a little bit of
Yep.
mixture. So I had one; they went side by side, and one was Born by Orion, the song Born, and the other one was, I believe, the Spelling on the Stone came on right after that.
Yep.
It was exact same voice
Yep.
to me.
Yep.
Exact tone and all that kind of stuff. There was one
Yep.
other song that he sings by Orion that has a very similar sound to Spelling on the Stone song.
Yep.
But there's a bunch of other songs that he sung on Spelling on the Stone that are pretty reminiscent to some of the Orion songs, and that's probably
But
why
you know,
I think Jimmy Ellis is the one that's singing on there and it's not.
that's just like that's just like that song down in Mississippi.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it. I 100% believe that's Elvis. Sounds just like him.
Especially when he says guitar and he says mama and
Yep.
he says a lot of the other songs and the way he sings with that feeling and
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
there's a
know the
lot. They were,
talking pieces in the beginning, but I think it is him completely to
yeah.
me.
But I'm just gonna tell you, oh Elvis, there's nobody can match his voice. I don't care who they are. Just like Jimmy Ellis. Don't get me wrong. Jimmy Ellis was awesome. And if Elvis hadn't come along, Jimmy would have been the biggest thing out there. But I will say this. Jimmy's voice is so close to Elvis's. You better be listening good or it'll confuse you. Because Jimmy was awesome. Which he ought to be. He's Elvis's half brother. Now I said that. I normally don't say that, but I'm going to say it. He was Elvis's half brother. Anybody don't believe me? Go look at pictures of Jimmy and go look at pictures of Vernon back in the day. They look like identical twins.
Yeah,
And
I
I
mean,
and like I told you, Joey, I know Jimmy Ellis's daughter Marie. She went to school with my sister, and she's always said Elvis was her uncle, and that's what she told me.
I'm
They
not gonna
had the same
outrule the
dad. They had the same dad, different mothers.
I'm not going to outrule it. Like I said, I just don't have any proof. So
Yeah,
that's
but I
why
don't
I
either
can't
really,
really say
and
yes or
I
no
don't
unless
really
we
have.
actually get it from the guy himself.
I don't really have any proof myself, but I do know
Yeah,
I've seen Jimmy Ellis's original birth certificate, and it had his mother. Her name was what was her name? Her name was Gladys too, I think. But anyway, Gladys Bell, that was her name, and on the part where it listed the father's name, only thing was there was Burnett, didn't give a last name.
right. So Rita says it's good to see you on here. I think a lot of people asked when we were going to do a live stream together, so I was kind of glad we did one tonight. It was off the cuff and
Yeah,
unplanned.
I mean,
It was thrown together in 1 hour.
you
Uh,
know, and a select few here, is close friends of mine, been friends of mine for a long time. They know what's going on with me and my family. But I'll get over it. It's no big deal. I'll just
Yeah.
keep plugging ahead. I don't give up. Never will I give up.
We'll just keep you in prayer and keep the
That's
whole
all I ask.
situation in
Everybody
prayer.
keep me in prayer.
And hopefully, God will have the final say. And He answered prayer in some ways, at least in some way, He answers prayers. And sometimes
Yeah,
it takes Him just a tad longer, but He's always just in time. All right, so
yeah.
no, Mona. Actually, today his real birthday. On his birth certificate, it's January 8th,
Yep,
1935. Okay,
yep.
so the cake was beautiful. I agree. I actually put a picture of that right here. I think Richard Carson had a picture of that on Facebook, so I borrowed it and clipped it and put it in my background to make it, to make some type of special occasion. All right, Dana. Why no family there? Well, I'm going to say that they're either all with E celebrating, or Riley had a prior engagement. We don't know.
And
Um,
we may not know either. They might have been there, but they was in the house. They might not have been out there with everybody. I mean, because he can't come out
no.
where everybody's at, so they might have all decided to stay in the house and not participate.
Right, but I mean, I think last year they didn't have any family there either.
Yeah,
So I mean, first of all, it's freezing cold. It was freezing cold yes this morning.
yeah,
They
yeah.
had
It
the
was
steam
23.
coming out of their mouths.
Yeah,
But
that one guy said it was 23 degrees there. That's pretty damn cold.
it's cold up here too. It was freezing today. So
Yeah, it was cold here today too.
yeah, shame no family showed up there, right? But they said, like I said, they said it earlier. I didn't clip everything because it was a long clip. That Riley had a prior engagement or something and she couldn't make it. So I'm
Yeah.
not sure exactly what that was, but I guess they said she's got some other things planned later in the
Well, yeah,
year.
that then people at that celebration said she was something having something to do with that new film coming out.
Right. And of course, Priscilla doesn't really get involved with them anymore. She's getting sued and all that kind of stuff. And then you've got that's in the papers. We all know that. And then there's other things going on, so I can
I
see
don't
why they
think
really wouldn't be there. And the
from what
twins,
I
well, they
know,
probably were in school for all we know, because the twins are in
from
school.
from what I've been told, you won't see much of Priscilla there anymore after this bullshit
Hmm.
she pulled after Lisa passed away.
Right. Well, she isn't there anymore, that much anymore. She does a couple things, but not a lot. She does a lot of her own things, but that's besides the point. Like I said, we won't see much of the family there because, well, let's see, the twins are in school. Lisa Marie's no longer around, and, well, E won't be there, and Priscilla's not
Yeah,
involved in that much anymore.
yeah.
So, wish the family attended, but they didn't again. Yeah, they didn't again. Exactly.
But if you remember
Uh-huh. Priscilla
backstory,
should have been there too. Well, like I said, there's a lot going on with Priscilla, the courts and EPE and everything with that. Um, what do you call it? The fake Elvis stuff that's being auctioned off. She's getting sued and stuff by the EPE. I can see why she's not going to be at events like this. You know, and I
well, you
know
notice,
Riley said that Riley had something to do. So who knows what it is?
well, you notice for years, every time they opened the door to the public for any celebration, Priscilla had her big mouth up there bumping her gums every time for years and years. But last couple of years, she ain't been there.
Right. I mean, she opened up that museum. I think it's that museum, I think, or something in Tennessee. But I mean, other than that, and she might do a couple other things like for Netflix, like she did the like producing for the special there that they had for the rise and the fall of Elvis Presley. If you guys haven't seen that, it was really good.
Well,
She produced that, so she does some things for Elvis, but not a lot anymore.
Well, you know, Joey, old Priscilla, she's always doing meet and greets, and that
Yeah.
old boy that bought that old red plane after the desert that Elvis owned at one time. He never even flew it. Never flew on it. He bought that plane, and Priscilla was there at that auction. He wanted her autograph and wanted to talk to her.
Yeah.
She wanted to charge him $250 for an autograph and just to speak to her.
Yeah, I don't.
That's sad.
I have some mixed stories. Like some are great, some are so. Hey, everybody's human,
Yep.
and all I can say about that. So I have not heard any new updates. Other than he's doing okay. That he's dealing with obviously the sorrow of Lisa being gone. You know, that hurts him most, but I think overall, like health wise, I think he's okay, from what I understand. Um, Linda hasn't heard from him since the beginning of December, so hopefully he calls her soon. I'm sure he will. You know, and a heart for Bob Joyce CIA. All right. Yes, happy
And,
heavenly birthday, Jesse, twins brother. Oh, okay, brother twin. Yeah.
and Francis Dixon, the question you asked me, the answer is yes. And yes, he wasn't he wasn't a happy camper after the stuff he read.
Yeah. Or Elvis with grief. Ugh, that's awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
You never get over the loss of a child. My mother,
Oh,
I lost my brother. He was 8 in a tragic accident, brain death, and she still mourns him. And it's been, like 32 years or 31 years. You just never get over the death
no.
of your own child. Great to
That's
see
the
you
way
on
to,
here, Jesse's birthday, and see Jim here. Yeah, it is. Like I said, Elvis Police SK. It was a impromptu visit.
Joey, you was talking about not getting over your children. My oldest boy, his mother got killed when he was 3 months old, and
Yeah.
she was pregnant when she got killed. You talking about crushing somebody, that devastated me. I mean, that's been 35 years ago, and I won't ever get over that loss. Never.
Mm. Yeah. It's
But,
hard.
I've been married to Christy 28 years. I got married. We've been married 28 years. But, I mean, that's like my wife. I mean, they got killed. I won't ever get over that. Never.
Right. Yeah, and it was a tragic way that she was killed too. So
Yeah.
it's not easy. Glad to hear grandkids were with Elvis Jesse today. I'm hoping they were. I don't know about
I
the
imagine they
twin
was.
girls, and I don't know about Riley. I'm just kind of assuming she said she wasn't here. She had something else to do. Who knows? She could
Yeah.
have been doing a movie or something else too. So we don't
Yeah.
know, but it makes our hearts feel better. We're hoping that he was with his grandkids, or at least had a chat with them on the phone. For
Yeah.
his birthday. Oh, good evening, Jermaine. How are you today? Hi, Elvis Police. Okay, no, it's it. Yes, having his colon removed was a clue he gave to Wanda June Hill that it was him. He got the bag. Yep. Was what he said to Wanda to prove it was him, since they spoke about that before he retired. Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Mitchell. Happy birthday, Elvis. It is a legend. Okay. Yes. Well, he is a legend still.
I got to say something, and I ain't being rude, but he's more than a legend. That man was a phenomenon.
Yeah. Well, a phenomenon, a legend, which is great. Rita
That's
says,
pretty
hello
much
to
all.
Elvis, please. Huh?
That's pretty much about all I listen to is Elvis. I don't listen to much other things. I mean, I listen to a few of the old country stars like Merle Haggard and them guys, but most of it is Elvis that I listen to.
Yeah, I listen to Elvis a lot, but I also listen to Christian music quite often. Like I like K-Love or Message or something, and I like
Oh, and I just love
modern day
Elvis.
Christian music. But
Yeah.
I love gospel music, and I love
Oh,
Elvis's gospel music.
let me tell you what, he was better at gospel than he was anything. He was great at everything, but the gospel I
Mhm.
think was the best.
Yeah, like I
I'll
said,
tell you, I'll tell you a song that he sings gospel, and I just love hearing that song. Brings tears to my eyes when I listen to it. And that's that song of his crying in the chapel. They ain't nobody can do that song like he did.
oh yeah, yeah, beautiful. And of course, I have a copy of his well, the remastered 2018 version of No One, where No One Stands Alone. He
Yeah.
sang that song with Lisa Marie and then a bunch of other songs. And yeah, that's a special album. I really like that one a lot. I
Yeah.
listen to it in my car all the time. I'm hoping when I get a new car that it has a CD player so I can keep listening to it.
Yeah, and it's even more special when I told you the background on that song, where
Yeah,
no
yeah,
one stands
yeah,
alone.
yeah, yeah. I get the background too. All right. Happy birthday to Elvis. Yes, Mitchell. Happy birthday. So you really believe Elvis is alive?
I
Um,
don't, I don't believe he's alive. I know he's alive.
yeah,
I'm
Jim
related
knows
to
he's
him.
alive.
I'm a double cousin to him, and I've been talking to him for years, folks. I met him in 1981 face to face, me and my father. I know
Yeah,
damn well he's alive. Matter of fact, like I told Joey, I just got a message from him the other day on Christmas Eve, and he was telling me how much he admired his fans and was so happy that he had so many good fans. And then he told me Merry Christmas.
yeah, and then Linda Hood SigmundsTruth.com. I will give you this website right here. You can look this up when you're done. On this website, you can find every single thing, every single evidence that you
Yep.
can imagine to prove that he's alive, including DNA and
Yep.
handwriting analysis. And there's a voice analysis and 15 songs that he has recorded. There is also a copy of a picture that he has taken with his grandson Benjamin. Actually, the enhanced version is on the background here, but you can get that. I have tons of videos on everything from his book to Is Elvis Alive and a bunch of songs that he supposedly sang. It sounds a lot like him. And so, yes, I firmly believe that
Yep.
he is alive, but
And I'll
Elvis
say this.
himself, the Elvis image is gone, but
Yep.
the man is still living. So he separated himself from the image. Then he calls
Yep.
himself Jesse.
And I'll say
He
this,
calls
Joey.
himself John Burroughs and other ones too. Okay, now I
I'll
lost
say
my.
this.
Yeah.
I'll say this, and SK will agree with me. He knows what Linda Sigmund puts out there. I tell people all the time. Let me tell you something. If she was full of shit and was lying, EP would have shut her ass down years ago. And the reason they don't is because he keeps them in check.
Yeah. And he also calls her and leaves all kinds
Yeah.
of health updates and has a great
Yeah.
relationship with Linda. She's been friends with him since 1991. And yeah, so he's very much alive, but his
And
image is dead.
and I'll say this, Linda Sigmund's maiden name was Hood. And like
Hmm.
I told you before, the Hoods are directly related to him on Gladys' side of the family. He's related to the
Right,
Hood. So that makes me wonder if there's, distant relation there.
right. And Elvis is a legend, yes. And the King of King, not King of Kings, the King of Rock and Roll. Actually,
Yeah, what?
They said it best. The king of entertainment, because he did everything. He did rock, country, gospel, blues. He sang everything.
Okay. Old Cuz never said much about somebody calling him the king of rock and roll. But boy, if you called him king, he'd set you straight real quick. I'm not the king. He'd point to the sky
Jesus
and
Christ
he'd say,
is the
"King's up
king."
there. Jesus Christ the king, not me."
Right. He hated being called the king, but
Yep.
I guess it kind of wore on him because then, in some of the songs after his retirement,
Yeah.
um,
Like that.
referred to him.
Like
Who
that
would have
spelling on
thought
it.
they would call me the king? And I mean, that's
Yeah.
in the dance.
Yeah. It's also on that spelling on the stone. He talks about that. Talks
Yeah.
about being called the king.
And down in Mississippi.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Remember, that's what he said down in Mississippi. He said, when they called me the king, my mama was so proud of me.
right. And then Rita, of course, SK says hi to Rita. And Diana tells Marty that he is alive. Exactly. And Rita laughs. And, SK says hi, Jim.
Hey, bud.
And Marty, no, he's not Bob Joyce. He's Jesse Elvis. All right. I have a lot of books, a lot of stuff about him not being Bob Joyce. And if you look up Elvis Police, he's got at least 4 videos debunking Bob Joyce theories,
Bet you, and he done a
as
great
well
job
as
on.
mine. I have a bunch of them too.
He done.
I have
He
2
done.
reels or 3 reels and a bunch of videos about Bob Joyce not being Elvis.
And I gotta commend old SK Elvis, please. He done an awesome job on debunking Joyce. He done an awesome job on debunking John Presley. He done an awesome
I'll get
job
a
on
new
all
one
these
for
people.
you, SK. You can look into Joshua. Let's see
Yeah,
what
look into Joshua Presley.
Joshua Lee Presley. All right. I don't know anything else more, but Diana says nope, not Bob Joyce. Correct.
I do know this, Joy.
He's in heaven.
It's
Well, that's good. Huh?
yeah.
What?
Bob. Or no, hang on a minute. You talking about Joshua Presley? Now, I've heard the rumor he's Elvis' son, but like I told you, that man went to prison for rape a few years ago. He's out now, and I've heard Joshua sing. He's a pretty good singer. But yeah, hopefully SK will check him out.
Yeah. 'Cause I had someone who actually meant a post with a letter from Joshua Lee Presley on the group. I did not I did not accept it yet. I just left it there pending because I'm still trying to decide what I want to do. But I will do my best to screenshot that for you, SK, and send it over to you on X, and you can check it out. Investigate. All right. Might be something new to debunk or try to debunk or get confirmation on, either one. All right. All right. I do not think he was Bob Joyce. That's good. I'm glad because he isn't. Francis says hi, Jim. I think you're a little ahead of me.
Hello.
Where is Elvis at? He is hiding. It's winter. He's in a warm climate. Just don't know where. Not really hiding. He's hiding in plain sight because he's so old now that people don't recognize him unless he talks or he has no glasses or sunglasses on his eyes.
And SK, you was asking about Lucy the Barbin. I don't know much about her. I don't really know anything.
Okay. So the con man of God, yes. This was why his drummer Ed Tracy quit drumming for him after 5 years. Wow. So sad to see people being conned in church. Whoa. Wow. Wow, that's unusual.
That's what I said a while ago. I was telling OSK I wholeheartedly agree with him about all that.
Well, like I said, I heard a story that some of the inner circle of the church is spreading this kind of stuff to bring people to the church, like to bring people to church to make money. They're building a new building, I guess, but still. Hi, Jermaine. And it's pretty sad because he's going to be held accountable to God for that.
Yep. You're
And
welcome, SK.
yes. All the best for 2025 to you and yours. I love the cake. Hi, Rita Presley. Hmm. Are you related to the Presleys at all? Let me know. Well, Happy New Year to you too. I wish I could have had a bite of that cake, but I can't eat cake. Unless it's gluten free. But yeah. Looked good though. Thanks for replying back, Mr. Jim. All right.
You're welcome.
What link are you talking about? Joining late. Oh, okay. Well, what happened was that Jim wanted to come on with me on a live tonight to celebrate Jesse Elvis's birthday, and for some reason the link that I wanted to get him to go on to stream with me wasn't working through Facebook. So he asked me to send him a link. He's actually James McFarlin on here, but on Facebook he's Jim, so I always call him Jim. I had to send him the link on a private chat, so that was the confusing part about joining late. And that's okay if anyone did. I can watch the beginning. I'm not really doing much but chatting tonight anyway and celebrating a little bit. So I will watch the start tomorrow. That's a good idea. I know Jermaine, I know she's in Great Britain. So she's got quite a time gap. So it's probably very late at night for her. So, or very early morning. All right. So, or Canada, one of the two. I can't remember. One of those two places. Anyway. Good evening, Claudette. How are you tonight? I'm on very late. This is unusual for me. I'm usually on at 8. I don't understand that. Oh, does anyone know that language?
Look like they're saying hello here for the first
Is
today.
okay. I'm not quite sure. It's a different language. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Good evening, Claudette. All right, that's fine. Jimmy had a lot more vibrato in his voice than Elvis did, though. Yeah, they did. I don't know. Elvis could use his vibrato quite well. Actually, I know Elvis was very good at throat singing. Jimmy was not. And he got that growl in his voice, you knew right away that was Elvis. Because Jimmy can't do the growl. Like he would get like that rasp in his throat, and the way he would say certain words. You could tell right away that Jimmy didn't say you the way Elvis used to say you, or time, or find, and the way
Jimmy,
Elvis would hold that
Jimmy,
I.
a lot of
Hmm?
them words, a lot of them same words, Jimmy pronounced them different.
Yeah.
I mean, it was different than the way Elvis said them.
And also when the speaking voices were different, because I have a couple videos like comparing them. The speaking voices were different because Elvis was more of a drawled out, slower. Like he would draw out the I, the O when he talk. Even like this was a
Yep.
good place to hide, and he would go like a really long I, like mind. He would do a long I, where Jimmy wasn't as like long drawled, even though he was from Alabama, his accent was weird, different. He talked
Yeah.
faster too. And Elvis also had a stutter. So when he talked, it was kind of like a little bit slower. I don't know if it had something to do with his stutter. He would slow down so he wouldn't stutter. But yeah, I read that somewhere. Claudette says, hello, Jermaine. Mario. This must be happy birthday, Elvis. I think that's what he's trying to say. I think. I know that Google has a translate on the comments, but it doesn't have it on StreamYard, so I don't understand different languages. Sorry, other than Spanish and French, I can't figure them out. Yes, he was Jim. I believe it. Okay, I don't know. Jermaine says hi. Well, we got all these conversations going on. Hi, Sharon. I'm here. Love listening to you too. Well, thank you. Good evening, Joy, and everyone. Hi, Barbara. How are you tonight?
Good evening.
Rita says, never give up, Jim. Yes, God will open a way. Yes, definitely. When there
I
is
won't
no
ever,
way, he will open a way.
Rita. I won't ever Rita. I won't ever give up.
That's right.
I'll be dead and in my casket and still be fighting.
Yeah, he'll be fighting from the spirit world. We'll pray for your family and you, Jim. Yeah.
Thank
Jim's
you,
going through
SJ.
some stuff right now. And he also has health issues too. He's still dealing with cancer. But yeah, the family problems doesn't help. Adds the stress for this health problem. So yeah, keep him in prayer.
Can
But we're confident God is in control and he's
uh,
gonna get you through this.
the cancer is the least of my worries. I've been dealing with that for 8 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still here. I ain't croaked yet.
Yeah. Well, like I said, and just adding that
Yeah, just
whatever
adding
problem that
stress
you're
to me.
having is stressful. So, but I'm not gonna let anyone know. It's a private matter for Jim, but
I had to,
us close
I
friends
had.
know.
That's the reason I told you I want to do this tonight. He's been on my mind all day, and I was dealing with all that stuff. And I said, well, I got to get away for a little bit. So that crap ain't on my mind. Do something productive and meaningful to me.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, Mario, what you're trying to say. I'm gonna do my best. If I can get this chat up on YouTube later, I'll try to interpret or look under Google Translate later and figure it out because I don't understand it. Anyway, prayers for you, Jim, from
Thank you.
Marty. Pray, pray, pray. Everything is in God's timing. Exactly.
Exactly.
I know the cake was beautiful. Yes, it definitely was. Freezing here in Houston too. Really? Well, it's like just very windy up here and very cold. Like, I don't know. It's wind chill. It's very cold. Okay. From Houston, I guess. I don't have anything against Priscilla. Me neither. Everyone's just human. Everybody's human, and everyone makes mistakes. And hey, it happens. Jim, has Elvis read Lisa's memoir?
Yeah, I told her, yeah. He wasn't a happy camper when he read all that stuff about Michael Edwards and all that crap, messing with
Yeah,
Lisa when she was a child. And
yeah,
I do believe Joy, if he'd have noted at the time, we wouldn't be sitting there having this debate because I believe he would have came out of hiding to take care of the situation.
right. Yeah, it's difficult. It's very difficult. And his safety is the number one thing. So obviously, you know. But as far as
But
I know,
you know,
he read it, or he knew
but
what was
you
in
know,
it. Actually,
yeah. But you know, at the end of the day, I've always said this: I love Elvis Presley to death. The only thing that always aggravated me with him is he let people just push him around and walk all over him and all that crap. I'm not built that way. Somebody does me wrong, you better stay away from me. I'm done with you. I don't forgive and forget as easy as he does.
okay. How do we know that she's being sued or if this is media BS? I don't know. I just saw a bunch of articles about it. Um, Yeah. I think it was on Linda's site too. I think she might have had an article about that. And there's more to it than that. It's also she's countersuing because her people that cover her financials misappropriated them or something. I don't know what the whole deal is. So something going on there. I'm not quite sure, but that's what courts are for. They're trying to figure it out. Elvis Presley pop. Okay. I'm not quite sure, Mario. I don't understand your language, so I'll have to look it up. Yeah, well, I don't know about that completely, but there was a lot involved in that relationship, so let's just say that. Thank you, Jim. All right. I think Jim froze. He
No,
might have
I'm
to
still
come.
here.
Oh, you are? Okay, your picture
Yeah,
froze. Is
I'm
Elvis
looking. I
supposed
got.
to come back out in public? He's not going to come back out in public. Well, first of all, he can't. He has issues because of security. That I don't think he wants to. He's 90 years old. He just wants to live in peace the rest of his life and go home to Jesus.
I'll say this. I'll tell y'all what he told me when I asked him the same question. He said no. He said at my this was back when he was in his 80s. He said at my age, he said I'd be foolish to come back. He
Hmm.
said I'd be like jumping out of the frying pan back into the fire. He said because we all know if I came back, he said my fans wouldn't leave me alone. And that's what he wanted. I mean, he wanted his freedom. The man was wore out. He exhausted himself for 25 years when he was out there performing.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he loved his fans, but he didn't have no freedom. I mean, Graceland wasn't a home; it was more like a prison. Man couldn't leave the compound without people flogging him.
Yeah. But there was a whole lot more reasons why, but a lot of
Oh
it
yeah,
has
I
to do
mean,
with that. But also, it
the
could be some pride
the,
involved. It could be some
the
danger involved as well.
yeah, the two biggest reasons he done what he done is the death threats and the hit the mob put on him, and in his health. That was the two reasons: to keep his family safe and to keep himself here and not die from his health problems.
Right. And I think there also, I mean, he was kind of tired of being the image. There was a
Oh
lot more
yeah.
involved. There was the spiritual component.
You know, he told Gene Smith just shortly before he retired and faked his death. He looked at Gene one night and he said, "Cuz," he said, "you don't know what I'd do to just walk away from here." He said, "I'd give all of us up to you just to walk away and be free. Nobody bothered me." I mean, he was just wore out. The man, I mean, it wasn't that he didn't care for his fans, but the man had been doing it for 25 years and he worked hard. I mean, hard. And I mean, the man was wore out. I mean, hell, he was ran in the ground. I mean, I hate to say this because Parker's what made him who he was. Parker also took advantage of the man. I mean,
Yeah.
he worked him like a slave, 3 shows a night in Las Vegas for over 3 years. Well, you can imagine how exhausted the man was.
Yeah, and I think also the fact that he also told one of June Hill and a couple other people, he said, "I'm sick and tired of being Elvis Presley." I
Yeah,
think the reason, one of the reasons why, is because of all of the stresses involved in his work,
the
but
dude.
a lot of it had to be the image. Like Chris, he didn't want to be worshipped like a god. He wanted people to worship God, but not him.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I'm gonna
I
tell you
think there was
something.
a lot involved in that. I think in his decision, there was a lot involved. Um, Two of the main reasons was his health and the death threats against him from the mafia.
And
But he's
and I'll
also
tell you,
still dealing with threats now because I think there's
yeah,
a company looking for him. They want a $10 million reward for him to come out. You know,
Yeah, and I'm
And
gonna tell you something else.
I think he also got threatened by EPE maybe once or twice. If you come out, you're dead. Because he kind of exposed himself a little bit too much. And, if he kept exposing himself the way he did, and he does that in media, he said that in the media to,
Well, that's what he said to the Attorney General of Missouri in
yeah,
that deal with Dr. Hinton and Linda
he
over
would
all
be
of these pills that were
eliminated.
prescribed. That's what he told him. He said, if I
Yeah.
keep exposing myself like I've been doing, I'll be easily eliminated.
Yeah. So
But
there's a lot
I'll get
involved with this, you know.
I'll give him credit though. He stepped up to the plate and cleared Dr. Hinton and Linda on that deal.
Yeah. And I
Because
think also,
they was going to get Dr. Hinton for prescribing so many pain pills to him, and they was going to get Linda because Hinton was mailing to Linda, and she was forwarding the pill, mailing them forward them to Jesse. Well, they was going to get her and Dr. Hinton. Well, he wrote that letter and made a phone call to the Attorney General, and he put a stop to it all.
yeah, and the letter that he wrote to the courts, or the Attorney General, was actually like even brought to a court-appointed graphologist
Yeah,
in Missouri, and
yeah,
she determined it was his handwriting. So there's
yeah.
a lot involved, but I'm going to say that is probably why he won't come out in public. But he does have a plan when he does pass away to have I think he said he was trying to write a memoir. I don't know how far he got on that, but he also has a DVD because I know he said his hand shakes. He's got a lot of arthritis. And so he probably did the
Well,
DVD instead.
I do know this. He told Linda about the DVD, and he
Yes.
also said that he give it to certain family members and close friends, and he already told them, upon my real death, I want you to turn all this over to the national news medias.
Mhm. So we will be notified. That's for sure
Yeah,
when he does really pass. And hopefully not
yeah,
soon, but I mean
yeah. I
it
hope
is
he stays for
inevitable.
a
He
while.
is getting up there.
Yeah,
Unless he outlives President Carter, which 100 years old. That's crazy. Or Dick Van
well, I
Dyke.
will
He's
say
getting up
this.
there too. So
I'll
anyway,
say, I'll say this. If I get the news that he's gone, I'll let everybody know. I'll tell everybody he's no longer with us.
yeah. And we will have we will have some memorials, I'm sure. And some
Oh yeah,
probably maybe a new picture or so, because then his danger will be gone. We'll see.
yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, Sharon says you look good, Jim.
Thank you.
So sorry for your loss from all those years ago, Jim. That's Francis.
Thank you.
Jim, thank you for coming on tonight. Yes, Jim, thank you for coming on
You're welcome.
tonight. This is a long one. Wow. All right. I lost my brother too, Joy. I loved Elvis to death. My brother went missing for 31 years and was found in September 2023, found underwater. I wish he would have known Elvis is living. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that, Sandy. But yeah, just never really get over losses of our friends or children or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, does Elvis visit Graceland or stay there sometimes? Hmm.
He has in the past. I don't know about anymore if he goes there very much.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that he probably. I don't think he
I
does
know.
much anymore.
I know. I know for a fact he was there on his date of death on August 16th of 20. What year was that, Christy?
August 16th, 1977.
The day we went to Graceland. When was
Oh,
that? That was 2018, I believe, because Tina was about 3 years old when we went. I know he was there that day. I saw him looking out the damn window upstairs.
2018.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hmm. Go ahead.
That's the same time. That's the time we went down there. Well, I only been there one time, but that time we went down there, we walked into the mansion through the front door, fixing to start that tour, and my little girl Tina starts hollering Elvis and takes off, goes under the ropes and takes off up the stairs, going upstairs. Christy had to go up and get her, had to run up there and grab her. She was almost to the top of the stairs. Then people in Graceland running that place, they about had a heart attack.
Yeah. I know if you. I watched that channel Jesse Burrows, Jessie Burrows. There's an audio tape there, kind of interesting. How I don't know if this is an Elvis impersonator or Elvis himself. Sounds like Elvis, but I'm not sure. But anyway, he says that he was behind the mirrors watching the people trickle around and the tourists going through Graceland sometimes and watching them. He says he says, I know it sounds creepy, but you know. And I'm like, well, I don't know if it's really him or not, but he also had other things like the Medal of Freedom and all that stuff. So it could have been an
Well,
Elvis impersonator, but interesting
I,
information
I don't
anyway.
know. I don't know who that is coming. They're going about free to be. They asked me what I'm doing. I'm just sitting here on the video right now, and they said, "Don't give my name out." Well, I don't know who it is.
Oh,
They'd
okay.
have to say their name for me to know who it is because I don't recognize that name.
Oh. All right. So sorry to hear of your loss of your first wife and second child with her, Jim. My sincere condolences.
Thank you, FK.
Yeah. Elvis will never be forgotten. Exactly.
No,
But the loss of a child is a million times more devastating. Yes.
yeah.
Elvis is God's great gift to mankind. Jesus first, then Elvis, a couple millennia later. Yes.
Well, it's like I told you, Joey. I think that's why he's still with us. 90 years old is what he did for humanity, and the generous heart he had, and the things he did for people that was less fortunate than him. God blessed him with a long life.
Hmm. His gospel is always played by me every day. Cool.
Yeah.
Great. So, favorite gospel song by Elvis Presley. Does anybody have one? I know I have a
I,
bunch. I can't name
I,
one that's my favorite,
I,
favorite.
I already told you my favorite. That's Crying in
Yeah,
the Chapel. Ain't
Crying
nobody
in
can
the
sing that like
Chapel.
that man.
I'm gonna say I really like actually that whole album I stated, but for some reason I always like some of the songs that are kind of like not as popular by him, but I still like them.
Yeah.
Everything by him. I really don't have a favorite
I
favorite.
like I like all of his gospel. It's all great.
And I know that he liked. I think he actually liked because he would practice like they had it in the movie behind the scenes. He was practicing I John. I
Yeah.
John is not my number. There's something about numbers. But yeah, I don't know. I think I like them all. I sing of a lot of a good old Elvis music on YouTube channel. Oh, you do? Sing a lot of good old Elvis music on my YouTube channel. Hope y'all enjoy it. Well, I'll have to look it up. Marty Harvey. I'll have to look you up and see. I'm sure, all right. There was another, what was his name? He used to sing a lot of Elvis music as well. And when I first opened his channel, he told me to stop digging up bones. And I got offended by him because I said something nice on his channel and all he could say was I was digging up bones. So I said, "Oh yeah, well I don't allow him on my channel anymore." I don't see his comments if he is on there because I'm not quite sure what he's trying to say, but I will definitely try to get interpretations. And Jesse, yeah. Okay. Exactly, Jim. He's laughing. I'm not sure exactly. We're that far back, so love each song, crying in the chapel and singing with Lisa, and all the gospel songs and all the songs in general. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Elvis radio, actually. Like, I listen to that quite often in the car. So they get some interesting songs on there that I never heard of before. Like, they'll do like the B takes and other takes of movies and all that. Elvis brought us to the foot of the cross all these years. Yeah. It's so nice to know for sure. Happy birthday, Elvis. We love you. Yes. That's why I always have Jim on, because he did the second encounters, and I really, his story is great. Jim, can you tell us the background of the song?
What song?
Crying of the Chapel? We don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what the background is on
I
that
mean, I
song.
think it might be it's written by somebody else, and they saw me crying in the chapel, probably because he was so overcome by the Holy Spirit. He was crying in the chapel, and he got there to meet the Lord. I cry a lot when I get like overwhelmed in prayer. I cry a lot when I'm deep in the spirit. I cry a
And,
lot.
and what you said about he didn't write that song. Elvis didn't write hardly any songs. Most of his
No,
songs he commissioned them by songwriters, told them what he wanted, and they come up with the song. That's how he worked that.
right. So there's some of them were his ideas, but he didn't ever
Yep.
got the chance to write them. So he
Yeah.
did get. I think he got some rights because of the fact that they were his ideas. But
Well, yeah, he got credit for several. He got credit for a few songs.
yeah,
They put him down as a songwriter.
but he's like, I don't know why, because I never wrote a song in my life. I believe that the same and respect EPE for that. Jim, Linda only speaks the truth. Right.
Exactly.
Yep.
Like I told you, Joy. Me and Linda, we've had our differences. We're not close friends no more. But I'll always support her because of Elvis, what she does for him.
Yeah.
I
She's
still
a big
follow
boy.
her. I still go look at her site.
She has the biggest and the best site and the most proof anybody has.
Yeah. Yep.
And I mean, I do push her site quite often because it is the best.
Yeah.
It's the best stuff. So, and I try to stick with the truth as much as I can. So sometimes if I read a book and it's not really truthful, I will just say straight out, I'm not sure if this is true or not. Because, you know, Susan, I believe the same thing. His presence on earth changed humanity to be better. Yes.
Yeah.
And I think even now, even like his memory or his legacy of what he did when he was younger is a big difference. He's got the a fan base that's still growing today. Even kids,
Yep.
grandkids, I
Yep.
love Elvis's music, and I think it
Look at
resonates with everybody.
look at my Tina. She's nutty
Yeah,
about that old man. She is crazy about Elvis. She loves that man to death. Every 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 year on his birthday, except this year, if she was here, she'd be wanting me to do a video and send it to him, telling him happy birthday, and she loved him.
yeah, and I think that he personified a Christian man the best he could, even though he had his minutes of sinning and not being a
Well, yeah,
saint.
he did.
Neil
He's
was
just
very
human.
forgiving, a very loving, very
Yep.
giving, and he still is today a very loving, giving human being. And he
Yep.
prayed for anybody, and he had like had a healing gift from the Lord, and he could heal. Like he healed
Benji.
one thing, and Jerry Schilling had a story about that in his book. How Jesus prayed, not Jesus, that Elvis prayed over him. Jesus healed his back when he got in that
Yep.
motorcycle accident. And I think Jim had an
Just
example
like
where Elvis said
that's just
Jesse prayed for his foot and it healed.
yep. Yeah, 'cause
I
I
think
almost lost my foot.
Jesse prayed for Linda's dog before the dog passed away. God,
Yeah. I'll tell
rest
you,
in peace. But
I'll tell you another one he prayed for, and that was James Burton. When James broke that hip, had that hip replaced, it set up infection. They was getting ready to take his leg off the next day. They admitted him in the hospital, and from what I've been told, Elvis came and prayed for him. The next morning, when they got ready to take him to surgery, they run blood work and stuff, and the infection was completely gone. They sent him home instead of doing
yeah,
surgery.
and I think he also healed with Jesus through Jesus' name one of his singers for the Sweet
Oh
Inspirations.
yeah,
There's a big story about that. So
yep.
he
I can't
he
remember
has
that.
a healing gift.
I can't remember that girl's name, but Myrna Smith told the story. She said that that
Mhm.
girl was one of his backup singers. She was diagnosed with terminal stomach cancer, and that was in the middle of the week. On Friday, he supposedly showed up at her house with some of his other singers, the other singers, and he showed up at her house. And Myrna said he got on his knees in front of her on the couch, laid his hands on her stomach, and prayed for her. She went to the doctor the following week, had more tests run to decide what they was going to do. And when she went back to the doctor, the cancer had completely disappeared.
Yeah, and and Jermaine says he's had a hard life in ways, yes. And he had admitted to Linda his life was very, very difficult, and it still is.
Yep.
He suffers a lot of pain,
Yep.
from a lot of pain. And he's still very, very, yeah, very, very difficult life. Anyway, yes, Claudette, he is here to bring us to Christ. He loves the Lord, and he brings you to Christ through his music. He would never be
Yep.
a preacher. He could never be in a church, and he will never allow his image to be on camera. And the only obviously picture that we have is the one that Linda had, that he put in his book. So, um, yeah. Thanks again, Jim. Joshua Lee Presley. That's one I haven't heard of. Right. And, as SK, I'm going to send you a screenshot. I think I kept screenshots from the gym of the letter that, what's that guy's name? I can't pronounce his name. Anyway, one of Linda's arch nemesises there, Sputnik. I think that's his last name
Yeah.
or something like
Yeah.
that. Anyway, he had posted a comment on one of these pictures of Elvis and this woman. I don't know who this woman is. And he said, this is a letter from Joshua Presley, one of Elvis's sons. So I was like, oh, I thought of you, SK, but I thought of Jim too, because he mentioned Joshua at one time to me. And I was like, oh, all right. I don't know who this is, but I'll send it over to you on X someday when I get a
Well, I want
chance.
listen, Joey. I got some pictures of Joshua. I'll send them to you. You forward them on to SK.
Okay. I don't know. It looked a lot like Michael Presley to me, but Michael Presley is one of those defunct ones that he has done already. So we can do it again. Yeah, why not? All right.
Michael
Anyway.
Presley that plays. And I'll tell you something, SK, if I
Um,
can find it. I got a letter that came straight from EPE talking about Michael Presley when somebody asked about him. And they did. They said absolutely not. He's no relation to the Presleys or the Smiths.
yeah.
He's nothing but a con man liar. His original name was Michael Myers, and I don't know if SK knows this, but in Florida years ago, he went to prison because he was selling concert tickets for a Kid Rock concert that Kid Rock didn't know nothing about. He was selling these concert tickets and got a bunch of money. They sent his butt to prison over it.
Yeah. What does Jim think about Lucy DeBarban's story? Another time, it's Elvis's
I,
birthday.
I don't know much. I don't
We
know much
really
about
don't know
Lucy.
much about her, but from what I understand, Desiree. I mean, yeah, that was a hard one. It really is because nowadays it's really difficult to figure it out. There's so many books written, you
Yep.
know. Thanks, Joy. I would love to see that on Joshua. Okay, I'll send that over to you when I get a minute. All right, Lucy. Lucy is Desiree's mom, right? Who claimed that she had a relationship with Elvis since 1953, and he wanted to marry her until 1977. I don't know about that. I don't think he wanted to marry her. But whatever. And Desiree is Elvis' daughter. Lucy's book, Are You Lonesome Tonight, has been all over the Elvis channels the past couple of months. Yeah, I saw that, yeah. I think, what was it? Can't remember which one it is, but one of the Elvis channels is doing that. Like I said, I'm not really into reading the books about the children. The only one that I actually quoted out of was that Deborah Presley Brando, because she actually had actual quotes from her, Larry Geller and Gene Smith. So, from her times being with them. Other than that, mostly Gene Smith. Thank you, Joy, for explaining. Okay, you're very welcome. Oh, you're from Nova Scotia. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That's the same time zone then. Okay. Why did I think you were? Oh, I'm getting you confused with somebody else who's in England that I know. Rita says Bob Joyce has no stutter, so that's one good giveaway. He's definitely not Elvis. Exactly. All right. I know you'll fight Jim. No doubts there at all. Okay. Thoughts and prayers for you, Jim. We need a German translator. Yeah, I don't like the that man, I can't read his understand his writing. Bob Joyce came out and he said he's not Elvis. Happy birthday to beautiful heavenly Elvis. Will always be remembered and loved. Yes, the image will be remembered and he's still loved. And yes, he's still alive. Even though
Joey,
the image is dead.
Joey, I just sent you them pictures of Joshua. Send them to SK. The one shows Elvis holding the baby years ago, and they're claiming it's Joshua. I don't buy that.
Okay, well, I'll send them over to him when I get a minute.
Okay.
Bridget Cross is suing Priscilla, and Priscilla is suing her for elder abuse, and EPE has started a suit. Correct. That's why I said all this law. Oh, Priscilla, involved in Priscilla. Yeah. That's another huge gift of Elvis. Being able to forgive people. He understands intention, and not everyone has the same information to work with. Yeah. And he's also very forgiving. I think he forgave every single person there is. And I think he lives by that teaching. Jesus says, forgive your enemies
I just
and
like
love all
Red and Sonny.
people.
I just
Huh?
like Red. That's like Red and Sonny West. Dave Hebler, when he wrote that shitty book about him, he forgave them.
Yeah. But why ruin a friendship that's been
Yeah.
he's been Ed's friend since
Yeah.
school. I mean, he
So
wasn't
like I
even
told
famous
you,
yet.
yeah. So like I told
Red
you,
was
when
the
him
one that saved him from being bullied, even like.
yeah. I mean, that's just like that deal with Red. Red said there at Humes High School when Elvis first started there, he said he had that long hair and he dressed different than everybody else. Said a bunch of bullies had him in the bathroom upside down by his feet, was fixing to stick his head in the toilet and flush it. And Red said, if you do, you're going to have to whoop my ass. And he took up for Elvis, and they was lifelong friends after that.
Oh, okay. And Sharon, I know you're in Australia. It's hot over there? Yeah, it's summertime. That's why. It's winter here and summer over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, my friend Beata's over in Australia as well. Okay, so this must be the person you're talking about. Free to be. What are
Yeah.
you doing, Jim?
You're looking at it.
Hmm. I was there too. We had a blast. Yes, it's me, but don't say my name, okay? We don't
Still
know
ain't
who you
figured out who it
are,
is.
but
Yeah, 'cause I
anyway.
don't know anybody by that name. Free to be.
Well, it could be it could be a channel for somebody. I don't know who that could be, but okay.
Maybe they'll tell us.
So sorry to hear this news about your late brother, Sandy. You can be sure he is close to you and knows the truth about Elvis. Yeah, because he's not in heaven, that's for sure. uh, I'm just kidding. You can laugh. Okay? Our 90-year-old friend, book author, is home.
Oh, I know who she's talking about. Who they're talking about. They
Okay, yeah,
talking.
all right. All right.
They talking.
Yeah,
They talking about Granny Pepper. Pepper
right.
Ritter.
Pepper, right. So, all right. She says, I'm just kidding. You can. All right. So, who's free to be? Is that
I
Pepper?
don't know. I don't know. I
Well,
don't think it's
anyway.
Pepper.
Anyway, is somebody that's near Pepper or knows Pepper, her
Yeah.
daughter, any of her daughters or kids or anything? I don't know. They know you? Elvis Police. Yes, thank you. Okay. Hi, Joy. Just realized you were live. Laugh out loud. No problem, Noki. I came on unannounced, and this is a quick live, and we've been on for an hour and a half just celebrating Elvis's birthday and chatting. You will never walk alone. That's your favorite? Yeah, that's a good song. And he's got a way when he says alone or lonely, and he gets that and the way he pronounces it. How great thou art too. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Never stand alone with E and Lisa Marie's my favorite. Oh, yes. Yeah. That's a good song. Exactly, Jim. Elvis shaped humanity, brought civilization from dark ages to the light.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sandy. All right. I watched a documentary on the last days of Elvis and my heart broke for his hairdresser. His hairdresser was in tears talking about doing Elvis's hair in the morgue. So sad. Yes.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you something about that. There's a lot of horse baloney. Look at the photo of him the night before when he come through the gates coming back to the dentist. The man didn't have no gray hair.
Yeah. I might have a picture, like I might have a picture of that on one of my videos of the day before, well, the night before he retired. And Elvis, his hair, his full head black, all his sideburns were black, and his
Yep.
sideburns were down to here. If you look in the casket, they're up to here. His hair is cut like in the 1950s, and his forehead is lower than actual Elvis, and his nose was different. And they even said that his sideburn was falling off, and they had to push it
Yeah.
on and
Well, I
wax.
mean, we all know it was a wax dummy, and that
Yeah,
dummy was a version of Elvis in the mid 1950s because that dummy still had that nose that looked like Elvis's natural nose. Before his nose job, his nose was kind of wide like that too.
right. And I think that also I'm just gonna say that Larry Geller is basically almost like hired by EPE. He has to keep it quiet.
Yeah.
I mean, they make up the stories like um Jesse Elvis had said he had done the voice in Elvis Found Alive. He said to Joe Esposito made an error. They had discussed where he was going to be found and what he was going to tell the press. And Joe Esposito didn't tell, got the stories confused and told the wrong story to the press. So he said he found him in his bed when he was actually found on the floor in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there's a lot
And
of evidence. And by
and
the way, and Jim, Colleen Jim has actually met Elvis in 1981 at a grocery store.
and I'm
So,
gonna tell you something else.
you know,
Hang on a minute. I done lost my train of thought. You was talking about about the bathroom stuff. That's just like that story they told that he was found face down in front of the toilet with his butt up in the air with his britches down around his ankles. He didn't like that. They thought it was funny, but he didn't think it was funny.
and he wasn't, and he wasn't found that way. He was found in front of this chair in his
Yeah.
bathroom, curled up in a like kind of in a ball, like as if he had a stomach ache.
Yeah.
And the book that they claim was next to his head or whatever was actually on the chair. Yeah. So he said he took an injection and then used some type of Eastern technique, yoga technique, to make him look comatose, like he was dead. He was playing dead, like some actors and actresses play dead. So he was a good actor, that's for sure. You know, man, he could have gotten an Oscar for that if he had really came out and admitted to that. He would have been really good at it. Best fake death scene. uh, anyway, Elvis sang the songs better than the original singers. Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I think my favorite version, a favorite cover by Elvis, was "You've Lost That Love and Feeling." He sang that crap out of that song. I mean, wow.
Oh,
I love that
I,
version of Elvis's
I,
version of that song.
I figured out who that is. That's a friend of mine, Joyce.
Oh, okay. I'm not quite
Yeah.
sure.
She knows Pepper personally. She's been to her house and everything.
Love Me Tender. Okay. So this must be his favorite song. It's Love Me Tender. Okay. I get it. All right. I think that's what that means. Not quite sure. Oh, we were talking about gospel songs, but Love Me Tender is a great song. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Linda is very admirable for a lifelong dedication. Yes. Very, very dedicated, and she keeps his privacy very, very safe. Jimmy, what's up with your messenger? Yeah, I was having a problem with your messenger earlier, too. You can't send anything in messenger with him. I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on. Jim, I don't know what's wrong with your
Uh,
messenger, but
Probably
this
been
is
hacked or
Joyce.
something.
Okay, so your
Yeah.
friend Joyce, whoever that is. Okay. Happy birthday, Elvis. Hi, Joyce Latin. How are you today? As long as we know Elvis is okay, that's all that matters. We don't need pictures. Cool. I'm stating that is in Lucy's book. I'm not saying it's factual. Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, that was from the prior comment. Got it. Elvis Rare Photos reads a book about. All right, okay, yeah, Elvis Rare Photos. I thought it was that one where Elvis is the man. Sometimes he does that. But I think Elvis is the man was reading the story with Kathy Westmoreland. So that's probably where I'm getting confused. Jim, are you close to Billy Smith? Marty wants
Nope.
to send. No,
No.
I think he got off somehow. We lost him. All right. He must have a problem with his phone. All right. The book is very moving and is very sad as well. The book is believable, but Elvis had many women. Yeah, he did. That's so nice to hear positive things about Elvis. Yes, me too. Good night, Joy and Jim. I'll watch tomorrow. I'm so tired. Interesting content. Well, glad you like it, and good night. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Happy birthday, Elvis. Hi, Valerie. Pepper is home from now, Jim. Yay. Okay, so Pepper Ritter, I'm just letting you guys know who Pepper Ritter is. She's the one that wrote Good Don't Cry Darling. That's the first book I read about Elvis faking his death. And she's the one that led me to Linda's site, and she's the one that led me to the book The Truth About Elvis Aaron Presley in his own words. And I actually got a chance to do a 3-way call with Pepper Ritter. She was a wonderful lady, and I got permission to read her story online. So maybe I will read Don't Cry Darling someday from front to back, because she said she would allow me to. So but yes, so she's been in, I guess, new nursing home rehab. She's been sick. She is 6 months older than Elvis, so she's 90, and Jim is good friends with her. So I thought I'd let you guys know who Pepper Ritter is in case you guys didn't know who Pepper is. All right, and she also is featured in the reading, is featured in the Real Life Encounters Part 1 video on this channel. Okay. Got here late, getting caught up. Thanks, Jim, for sharing so much. Feel very privileged to know that you enjoy share with us about Jesse Elvis. So happy he's not alone today. As far as I know, he's not alone ever, because I think he has security too, I believe. First time I met Elvis, I was 5 years old. My mom ran the gates, and we lived across the bridge in West Memphis, Arkansas. A hop, skip, and a jump. Interesting. Wow. Cool. Elvis Radio and Elvis Radio podcasts. Oh, yeah. I like Elvis Radio. Key Jana Boyd. How are you today? I've never seen you mention anything. I have no idea. They claim she is, but like I said, I have no idea. Give me 1 second, please. Go into the private chat on StreamYard and I'll let you back on. Go into the private chat on StreamYard and I'll let you back on, because I don't know why it's not working here. You could try clicking on the StreamYard thing and see if it'll come on, but if not, I'll try again. All right. He's trying to get back on. Jim, we lost Jim somewhere. All right. 90 days and 90 years. Yeah. 90 years old. Yeah. All right. Hi, Valerie. Happy belated birthday, Elvis Presley. Well, it's still his birthday 10 more minutes, according to my computer. But if you live in a different place, then I can see it's belated, yeah. Yes, I've read her book. Yeah, it's a good book. I liked it. I loved it when she looked at him and the eyes and said, "Wait a minute. You're not Elvis Presley." And he goes, "I'm not." She goes, "Yeah, Elvis doesn't have blue eyes." And he goes, "I don't." I laughed so hard at that. I thought it was funny. Oh boy. Oh, welcome back.
I'm going to stand here and wait.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
You know what it is? Your little bubble goes underneath all these other links here, and I didn't see you. Sorry. Is Pepper alive? Yes, she just got out of the nursing home. We were just mentioning
Yeah.
that.
And I'm going to tell you something else. Joyce there, talking about she met Elvis when she was 5 years old.
Yeah.
She also met him another time. If she wants to tell
Ah.
you about it, she can.
She'd tell you, but she can't. She'd tell me, but she
I
can't.
said if she wants to tell you, she can. I won't tell the story, but
Oh,
I
okay.
was
I got it.
I was there when it all went down.
Right. All right. Hush, darling. Don't you cry. Yes. Good night, Francis. You're welcome. Elvis is the most generous, kind, caring man there ever was. I believe he was and is anointed by the Lord and a gift to the world. Most
Yeah.
definitely. Don't cry, darling. Yes. Like I
Hey,
said,
Joyce.
that was a book that opened my eyes
Well,
to who was the real Elvis.
if you want to, Joyce, tell them about when you met him 3 or 4 years ago. You don't have to go into detail, but you can tell about it if you want to.
I don't know why you're listing all these holidays, but okay. Sure. NFL. NFL. You know the NFL though, Jesse Elvis really likes the NFL. He likes college football too. He
Yeah.
actually asked Linda 2 weeks ago or 2 months ago for college jerseys. I wonder if she got that for him for Christmas. I don't know. I don't know about hockey though. Hey, Michelle, how are you? She lives out in Australia as well. I think it's daytime over there. And it's getting late over here, so I'm going to bed soon. But, all right. So, let's see. Super clamps. I don't know what you're talking about. A jumpsuit song of the day. Okay. I agree, free to be. Yes. Me too. I don't know what all this miscellaneous stuff is. Trump Latino. Okay. Nashville, Tennessee, Broadway. I think. All right. Yeah. Community post photos. Okay. I don't know. Well, something about Elvis and something about Michael Jackson. I don't know. I'm gonna try to get these on Google Translate later. I'll. This is on the video, so I can do that. Look it up. I don't know. These comments don't show up. How is his health, and does Riley ever visit him? I think his health is doing okay. I mean, he's 90s, old. I think so. I think Riley visits him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she does. Well, there's Jim. Yeah.
What do you
So
mean? What do you mean, Rita? I've been here for over an hour. Where you been? Sleeping?
oh, you admitted you disappeared, and then you had to come back on. And she's saying, "Hey, there you are,
I know.
King, King of Pop. Oh, King of Rock and the King of Pop. Got it. All right." She wants to know if you visit Elvis frequently. I don't think he does visit Elvis. I think Elvis just calls once in a great while, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
get to visit with him.
Yeah. He doesn't know where he is either. No one really knows where he is except for one person. And that one person, we don't know who that is. And that would be the go between.
I do know that. I do know this. If it's cold weather, he's somewhere where it's warm, and when it's hotter than hell, he's somewhere where the weather's a lot milder
Yeah.
due to his arthritis and stuff.
Yeah. I know he does go to Graceland a couple times, maybe, to
Yeah.
visit, never. But it would be at night. overnight, late night, when no one's
Yeah.
around. But I don't think it's
Read,
recently though, because I think he's been in and out of a wheelchair, from what I understand.
read Frida B's comment she told about when she met
Okay, I
Elvis
will
there.
in a minute. I'm good. How are you? I'm doing good, Michelle. This is Michelle. Elvis Daily Prayers. She lives in Australia, so she misses us all the time. We're
Hello.
almost live at 8. Let's just say that Jim Christie and I followed a flashing blue star, laugh out loud, went to a restaurant that Elvis loved, and he was there.
Well,
Wow. Another person that knows, that has seen and experienced Elvis Presley after 1977.
well, Joey,
Awesome.
when next time I talk to you in private, I'll give you more details on that deal.
Okay. No, she's gone.
No, Lisa Marie's dead and gone.
Yeah, he took it really hard, and he's still taking it pretty hard,
Yeah,
from what I understand. She said you disappeared. That's what I
yeah,
said. All right.
yeah.
I'm glad to hear he still visits his home. Yeah, like I said, I don't think he does it that often now because of, mobility and stuff, but
Yeah.
I heard he does visit, from
The
what I
stuff
understand.
about that stuff about Lisa Marie being alive is all horse shit. And I'll tell
Yeah.
you why I believe it's horse shit, Joey, because at that time I was in the hospital. I was in the hospital a month there in Las Vegas when Lisa passed away. And I got an invitation to the private funeral. And I was told if I came, I couldn't bring a cell phone or no cameras in. But I couldn't go because I was in the hospital.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if I hadn't been in the hospital, I'd have been on my way.
Hmm. That is awesome. Yeah. Yeah. He said that's a great story. Free to be. Hmm. All right. Well, it is 1 hour and 57 minutes we've been on, and I am getting tired, and it's getting late. It's almost midnight. So I'm gonna
Uh,
stop pretty soon, everybody. Okay, well, a couple more, and that's it, okay? All right. It's it's hard. I bet it's hard for E when he visits Graceland. So many memories there. Yeah, and like I
yeah,
said, I think he said he hadn't been visiting it lately, but you never know. All right.
yeah.
So you guys have a great night. God bless you all.
Hey,
I should be on Saturday. Yeah?
after after this video's over, I'll give you a short call. I'll tell you the story about
Okay.
Elvis down there.
All right.
All right.
And if
Well, I'm gonna get
any
off
of you
here.
watching, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. And if I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna have that countdown of the big songs on this channel.
But
And
anyway,
like and share and favorite it. All right. Great show for
anyway.
both of you. Thank you. Okay, so let's see. It was a cowboy movie on with Elvis, but I can't remember the name of the movie. I wish
I know.
I would have
I know.
recorded it.
I know the name of the movie. It was a John Candy movie called Wagon East.
Oh, well, she sang EP was so beautiful. He walked by me, said, "Excuse me, hon, yum, he's beautiful." That could have been any of those. Flaming Star. What's the other one he did that back in the
Flaming
60s?
Star, Sorrow,
Charo. One of those two movies, maybe.
maybe. But yeah,
I think those are the
that
two westerns that Elvis
that
did.
that movie of John Candy that come out just a few years ago, he had a part in that too.
Yeah, well, we don't know that. I mean, we don't know much about that one because
Yeah,
obviously it would be like an alias
well,
name and all
yeah, they
that.
keep everything hush hush.
That magical blue light and Elvis seem sure to be connected. Yeah. Well, I think they talk about that, that blue light when he was born. They said there was a blue light in the
Uh,
sky. That's what Vernon said. I don't know.
I'll explain it to you. It wasn't a blue light in the sky.
The magical blue light. Oh, a police light? Who knows, right? Anyway, was it at a restaurant? The blue light? Oh, you'll tell me later.
No,
All right.
no.
Good night,
It was,
Rita. All right.
it was one of his favorite restaurants right up the street from Graceland.
Oh, okay. Thank you again, Joy and Jim. Happy birthday and long live Jesse Elvis. Yes, long live Jesse Elvis. Amen to that. And when he passes away, he'll be living in heaven with the rest of us. So either way, if I never meet him in my lifetime, I'm going to meet him in heaven. That's for sure. All
Yeah.
right. I'm so pleased I caught your show tonight. I'm no blood relation. Blessings. Oh, okay. Thank you. No problem. I just wanted to know because your last name. That's all. All right. I'm glad you liked it. All right. So you guys have a good night. God bless y'all. I'm going to bed now. Bye. After I talk to Jim.
Good night, everybody. Been good talking to
Good
everybody. God
night.
bless.
And I should be on Saturday night with my regular. Actually, we're doing the Elvis tape. So that'll be good because that'll give us a little indication on the Elvis tape. So that'll be good. Good night. Good night, Elvis or SK. And I'll message you, but probably tomorrow with that stuff, okay? Because it's getting late. I'm tired. So, bye, everybody.
All right. Bye.